views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
You are now watching the Alan and DJ Show.
Yo, 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 Milwaukee, Sun Prairie, and all the surrounding areas. Welcome to the Alan and DJ TV show program. And of course, I'm Alan.
And this is your boy, DJ.
DJ, I got a question. Because Bambi the deer told me that she want change. And she want change in the community, and she want it now. And I said, Bambi, what are you talking about? Bambi, things are getting better. Yeah, but it can get more better. I put you in front of my good old friend, the mayor, but I got another friend I want you to meet because she want to know some things. And I said, okay, send them my way, and let's make it happen. So without further ado, we got our great old guest today. Your name would be?
Aaron Oppenheimer.
Aaron, how you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm glad to be here.
There you go. So, without further ado, we're going to only bring this to you the way the Alan and DJ show is accustomed to bringing it to you. So, Aaron, my first question to you. So, we're going to talk about general community concerns.
Okay.
So, what do you believe are some of the top priorities and challenges that we are facing in our community? And how do you plan to address them?
Yeah, we're working on it right now. So the biggest thing affecting the city is state-imposed levy limits.
Oh.
So we're in the middle of a potential referendum. So we're in conversations with the community. We just did a community-wide survey to learn what our city's preferences are as far as the services they receive, how they would like to fund them. And if they'd like those services to continue, we are going to have to go out for a referendum in April of next year. So that is our biggest challenge. So we're having a community conversation, have been doing it for the last several months, but that will continue all the way till April of next year.
Beautiful. Yeah, because there's been a lot of concerns about referendum. So I said we got you guys, so we're going to get that covered for you.
All right. My question for you, Aaron, is how do you plan to involve residents in the decision-making process?
Absolutely. So we've been having a community conversation where I've been going out and presenting to different groups throughout the community: Rotary, Optimist Club, Lions Club, any group that will have a chamber of commerce where we talk about the city's challenges and financial needs. Mm-hmm. Also, we commissioned a community-wide survey where we sent a survey out to almost 17,000 households to get information from them on the service priorities that they have, the funding challenges that the city's facing, and how they would like us to address those challenges. We had 13% of our community respond to that survey, and so we learned a lot in that process. And so we're in the process of having a conversation with the city council using the survey results, how the referendum will be, the question that would be on the ballot, what will be in that question?
Yeah, because that's a lot of community concerns when it comes to, just the whole referendum thing, because it's affecting the school boards and everything that, we notice as well. And so my other general community concern question would be, what is your vision for the future of our cities and neighborhoods of Sun Prairie?
Yeah, absolutely. So for Sun Prairie, we have a high focus on quality of life here in our community. So that's one of our biggest focuses, is trying to, making sure Sun Prairie is an attractive place to live. We've been growing 800 people a year.
Yeah.
So I've been with the city 13 years, and over that time, we've grown 10,000 people in that time period. And so we're trying to make sure we have the infrastructure to support that: water, sewer, roads, things like that. But we're also trying to make sure public safety is thought about, ambulance service, fire service, police service. And then we're also focused on a high quality of life park system, recreational opportunities. We just expanded our library, doubling the size of our library. We added a splash pad a couple years ago. We're renovating our aquatic center now. And so we're making sure our residents have a high quality of life here so that we continue to be a place where people want to live.
Yeah, and I tell you, and this is just me looking at it personally. Like Sun Prairie has like really got really attractive lately. A lot of great restaurants here too, by the way. But yeah, like the library looks beautiful. You guys get a chance, you got to come down and check it out. Like they're doing a really great job. And then like the way they expanded it, and adding like a comfortable place where you could sit and study. I like that. So like I thought that was real nice.
Absolutely. My question for you, Aaron, is what community involvement have you had in the last 5 years that you can recall that demonstrates your commitment?
Yes, absolutely. So as city administrator, I want to not just be behind a desk. I want to be out in the community. So
Yeah.
I've been a part of the Sun Prairie Rotary Club, being president of the club, president also of the foundation. I've been on the Library Friends board, vice president. I've been president of the Library Foundation. So I've been involved in a lot of civic groups in the community, often attend a lot of events in the community, fundraisers, for different organizations within the community.
Nice.
So I want to be out in the community, making sure that people know who I am, that they're comfortable meeting with me,
Yes, sir.
that I'm also involved in many of the projects and activities these groups are doing within the community. Because all of these groups, whether it's Rotary, Library Foundation, they're doing good things within the community. And so I want to make sure I'm a part of that, and that
Nice.
they know that the city supports it.
Man.
How long was you in those groups?
Yeah, I'll grab that. I've been in these groups since I came to the city. So ever since I started in the city 13 years ago, on December 1st, it'll be 13 years. Joined Rotary right away. A couple months later, joined the Library Foundation. And so being a part of these groups is just what I'm all about, and have continued to be from the time I came to the city all the way till present day. So, thank you.
So my question to you, Aaron, now is like, so when it comes to our city and Sun Prairie, like, is the city government transparent enough to have its operations and decision making? If not, what changes are needed to make that happen?
Yes. So we are very committed to being an open government, transparent government. We do that in a number of different ways. One is all of our city meetings, whether it's city council, planning commission, library board, et cetera, are all televised. So if you can't come to a meeting, you can see it right from your home.
Nice.
So very important to us as well. The other thing that we have is on our city website, you can see we have a transparency module, we call it, where you can see all the revenues that come into the city and what we spend that money on. So you can actually do searches for our vendors and find out the information about how the city spends its money. I also have a show as well, Inside Your City, where we talk about things that are going on in city government. We just finished up a task force that met for 5 months that was focused on how can we communicate better in our community? What different channels can we use? What different methods? And one of the things that came out of that we started right away is me having a monthly newspaper article. Nice. So we still have folks that receive their information via the newspaper. And so now I have an administrator's corner where I'm doing a monthly article in the newspaper, but we're going to be doing a lot more to try to improve communications within the community. We want the residents to have the city government that they desire.
Most definitely. And, like I said, Aaron, you guys are doing such a great job here in the city of Sun Prairie versus when we used to come out here, like maybe a long time ago, say maybe about 2017, like you could see the birth of it starting to come to life. But now as of recently, a lot of stuff you guys got going on here, especially Corn Fest. I love Corn Fest, by the way. I love Corn Fest, man. So that was just improving our festivals and parks and all that. I like that.
Yeah, we've made we have added a lot of events, community events within the community.
Yeah.
Our residents enjoy getting out into the community. We have the Cannery Square, which is a perfect place to host events. And so we really have been focusing on having more events and have them be a higher quality of events. And our residents have really come out to support our events.
Beautiful.
Okay. This is a budget and finance question.
Sure.
How big is the city's annual budget? Like, you don't have to give me like the total number, but like a ballpark range number. And how does that spending compare to similar cities that you have been in the past?
Sure. So my career started off, I was an intern in the city of Janesville, then went to Decatur, Michigan, which was 1,800 population.
Oof.
Holly, Michigan, which was 6,200. Then Bellevue, Wisconsin, 15,000. Then here was 30,000 when I started. So obviously a much larger city than what I've managed before. But our general fund budget is around $45 million. Our total budget, if you add up all funds, is around $200 million. That's all of our capital projects and our enterprise funds.
Okay.
So our main funding source is the general fund, which is $45 million. And so that's comparative to other communities our size. And so, but it's the largest I've managed, having obviously started in that 1,800 community and worked my way up. So that's how we're funded.
Yeah, you got to crawl before you walk. And then my question for, once again, budget and finance. And I'm only doing this because the people want to know. Well, I do too. Well, so Aaron, how much money does the city have in its like rainy day reserve funds, and what is the benchmark for how much should be there?
Yes. So our policy, each city has a different policy, but our policy is between 15% and 20% of revenues.
Okay.
So it changes each year as our revenues grow. Our funding changes as far as how much we need as far as actual dollars. So we have roughly $6 million in what we call unassigned fund balance. The fund balance itself is larger, but there's pieces of it that are assigned to specific things. And so that is at 19.9% of our revenue. So we're right at the top of our fund balance policy. And the reason why we do that is if there's unexpected expenses that come, like we had a severe weather event and there was additional costs that we incurred, or we had a bad snow season and we use fund balance to cover that. So it is important that cities have unassigned fund balance where we have some flexibility in our costs if we need those funds. And so the city is in great financial shape.
That's good. That's always good to hear. And that's what you want to hear from, like your city administrator and, the mayor and everything, just knowing that, they're going to work for, the people. So I like that. Absolutely.
And this is another budget and finance question. How is the budget funded? Like in an example of this would be like, how is the state or federal funds utilized? And what is the average household tax burden?
So we have really two primary sources of revenue that come to the city. Property tax is the number one source of revenue that the city receives. The second one is what we call state aids or shared revenue. And so when you pay sales tax, we get some of that back through a complex formula back to the city. Also gas tax. When you pay at the pump gas tax, we get a portion of that back to assist with transportation. And so that state aid and property tax are our main sources. We also have other things like different fees that we charge for different services and programs. But the two largest chunks are that property tax portion and then that state aid shared revenue portion. We also charge user fees for like water and sewer and stormwater, things like that make up a big source of our revenue. But those are can only be used for specific purposes, which is providing those services. The general fund is funded through that property tax shared revenue, which is paying for police, paying for fire, paying for public works, things that are for general government purposes. So as far as the overall tax burden for households and things like that. So that changes annually as we set the budget. So we will approve next year's budget here shortly, December 2nd. And as soon as the city council approves the budget, then they set the tax rate for the next year. If the budget's approved as is currently, it's $140 increase annually on the average home in Sun Prairie per year. So $140 per year. That would be, that's the increase. So obviously taxes itself are more than that, but they fluctuate based on valuation. Now, keeping in mind that your tax bill, there's multiple entities that affect your tax bill: school district, county, Madison College, and then the city is a portion as well. So take a look at your tax bill. That's all broken out as to what entity gets which amount.
And then how much of the budget is being used to either fix or replace existing infrastructure versus like new building captivity?
Yes. So there's a lot of different infrastructure that's in the city. So the public works budget is $3.5 million, which includes like repairs, maintenance of streets and things like that. We also have $2.2 million for parks maintenance, and then we have $1.4 million for fleet. So that's keeping all of our vehicles and things replaced. So total in the CIP for 2026, CIP is our capital improvement plan, where that's all housed, is $31 million for new infrastructure and equipment. 16.5 million of that is borrowed for. The rest is paid with grants, fees, retained earnings, which is prior year's funding that is carrying over. So that's our total amount in infrastructure. So, yeah.
This is a zoning and development question. How does a proposed new development fix in with the character and need of the surrounding neighborhood?
Yes. So that is a big challenge. So whenever we're reviewing projects, we're checking for zoning, right? Is it compatible with the neighborhood? Is something being built, like, for example, if let's say an industrial project was proposed, but it was in a residential area, right? Bad fit, not compatible with the surrounding area.
For sure.
And so those are the things we look at when a project is proposed: is what's the zoning for the area? Not only currently, but we also have what's called a comprehensive plan, where we look at the future, and because areas aren't always developed. And so we're looking at the future to determine, what do we think that area should look like in the future? Should it be more industrial, more in commercial, more residential? And so when we review project plans, those are some of the things that we're looking at. We're also looking at aesthetic. Is it a nicely designed building, right? Does it have all the things that buildings should have, like fire hydrants, egress into the facility, being able to get in and out, like a fire truck being able to get in and out? Does it have the appropriate lighting? Does it have the appropriate landscaping? Does it have appropriate parking requirements to make sure that the development can adequately park everybody that's going to either visit there, if it's a commercial building, industrial building, but also the people that are going to live there, to make sure they have adequate places to park? Because in snow emergencies, we ask everybody to get off the street. They need somewhere to park. So we take a look at all of those things to make sure we have a quality development within our community.
That's good, because I was also thinking about that too. Like, okay, we gotta get out the street, where we gonna park at? So that's cool.
That comes up, no doubt.
So another question for zoning and development, like, will the like applicants include like any like affordable housing, or permit like supportive housing like options?
Sure, absolutely. So some developments do include affordable housing options within their development. Some don't, and they only have market rate. And so it depends on the developer and their comfort level of being able to finance and be able to operate in affordable housing development. We try to promote workforce housing within the community so that we have different levels of housing for all. Sun Prairie's motto is, we want housing for all. We want housing available for those that can afford more of a higher end home, all the way to a more affordable option. And so we promote that. We have a housing fund to try to support that. The city has invested in workforce housing within our community, and will do so in the future. So each development is a little different in whether it includes affordable housing or not, but we'd like to see affordable housing, workforce housing in our community.
Nice.
This is another zoning and development question.
Sure.
What impact should the neighborhood expect during construction, and how will these impacts be mitigated?
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah.
construction.
Yep. So I understand the concerns of construction, noise, dust, all those types of things. So the city has ordinances in place when construction can occur as far as time, framed, so that you don't have somebody starting construction 5 a.m. and
Right.
you're trying to sleep. So we have hours as far as when construction can occur within the community, and we certainly have environmental protections as well, like silt fences and other types of things. So while development is occurring, we don't have like erosion and things like that going on with the development. And we monitor, how will people get in and out of the site during construction? If they're tracking mud and things like that on the street, which happens, we do require developers to clean the streets, make sure that the the present infrastructure stays in good condition while construction is happening. But I understand the challenges of construction and those concerns, especially for large scale developments that does happen within the community. And so our community has, we've had a lot of net new construction or new development within our community. So our residents have experienced that with cement trucks or large dump trucks coming in and out of the community. And so that just kind of comes with growth.
Gotcha. Yeah, because then that construction, you're like, oh gosh, I didn't do this. We dropped the coffee in the morning, so I get you. So now we're gonna take this in a different direction. So we're gonna talk about public safety and infrastructure.
Sure.
So what is the number one infrastructure facing our city?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for us is being ready for growth. We don't want to turn away development because we haven't thought of what are the water needs for the future? What are the wastewater needs for the future? Do we have the ability to provide service to a development, whether that's EMS, fire, police, trying to be ready to be able to serve the development that's coming? We are a pro-development, pro-growth community. And so growth is part of the city's future success. And with being part of Dane County and all of the growth that Dane County is going to experience, Sun Prairie is going to grow in the future. And so just making sure that we've thought ahead, because you're not able to, right as the development comes, be able to provide all the needs without planning ahead. And so we have a 10-year capital improvement plan where we're actually planning out the next 10 years of infrastructure that we need to put in the ground to be able to plan for that future growth. Our utilities are planning 20 years ahead. What kind of electric needs, substations, water sewer plant improvements. So really being as proactive as we can in making sure that we are prepared to serve the residents we have now, because those requirements always change. Environmental rules are always changing, but be ready for the residents that are going to be coming, those 800 people every single year that are going to be coming. We need to make sure that our infrastructure is prepared for that growth.
Man, now you got on top of it. On top of it. I like that.
And this is my last question for you. And this is a public and safety and infrastructure question as well. How will the city handle increased demand for emergency services like police, fire, and medical services due to popular growth or new developments?
It's a great question. It's one of our biggest challenges. We have been adding emergency services staff, both police department personnel as well as fire and EMS. So we have been adding staff. But as I mentioned early on, now we are approaching levy limits. Hitting levy limits in 2025. We now have to add staff through referendums. And so it'll really be up to the community how many staff members we'll be able to add through referendum. And so we'll likely have some emergency staff that we'll try to add in the referendum that we'd like to have in spring. But that's for 3 years. We'll have to go for referendum again. And then we'll need to ask for more emergency management professionals then as well, both police, fire, and EMS. So it really will be a conversation with the community about adding fire and EMS staff in the future. And they'll have to decide through their vote whether we'll be able to fund those staff members or not.
Makes sense. And then like my last public safety and infrastructure question for you, Aaron, is like, so what is your plans to address the specific like public safety concerns like illegal dumping or excessive or violence in particular, like even in neighborhoods?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our solution will be engaging those neighborhoods. We do have neighborhood navigators that do assist with trying to form those connections. We also support community schools, which is very connected to the families in many of the communities within our community. And so we need to make sure that we're out and having communication with those folks, making sure we know what their needs are and that they may be struggling with a particular issue. So the biggest thing we can be doing is being out in the community, having those conversations, making sure we know what those needs are, and then try to work with them to fashion solutions. They may be simple things that we could solve really quickly. They may be things that take more of a process to solve. But the biggest thing is being engaged with our community to make sure we understand what their needs are, that we aren't just sitting here at City Hall thinking we know what their needs are without going out in the community and finding out what those needs are. And we want to engage them on the solutions. We don't want to be trying to solve the problem our way, and that may not be the way that the community would want the issue solved. So I think the best thing we can do is engage our community and make sure we understand.
I love it. And so, Aaron, if the viewers want to be able to find you or reach you, how can they find you or reach you?
Yeah, there's a couple different ways. You can go to the city website. So my email contact is there, which is aoppenheimer@cityofsunprairie.com. You can call here at City Hall, which is 608-825-1193. You can engage me through my TV show, Inside Your City, which is available through the Media Center. You can also read my monthly article in the Sun Prairie Star. So a number of different ways. Please reach out to me. I'd be happy to hear from you and look forward to you doing so.
All right, guys. And yeah, check out the Star and check out Inside Your City. I promise you can't go wrong. Any public or safety concerns or just concerns in general. I think Aaron does a great job of really like covering that and making sure that Sun Prairie is like a more safer city and having great food like Corn Fest and all that good stuff and all the public parks. I love it. And the library too. Check it out. Reading is fundamental. Now, you guys just reached the Alan and DJ Show. You can find the Alan and DJ Show at gmail.com if you have any questions about what you want us to talk about next. Or you can also find the Alan and DJ Show on Facebook on our fan page, or the Alan and DJ Show on YouTube, or the Sun Prairie Media app. And there's like many different ways that you can get to us and check us out, or even I think 983 Spectrum TV. Then you can find our producer extraordinaire, William J. Smith, on Instagram and Facebook, and yours truly, Alan Hutchinson, on Instagram and Facebook. And until next time, we're going to keep taking the city over. We're going to keep building this city, and Sun Prairie going to be the best place to be at because we're going to stay well. We're going to stay healthy.
Peace.